efficiency ratios. So the asset efficiency, how well we use our assets. So that we define by sales divided by total number of assets. So that is we also called asset turnover. How many times we turn our assets to generate sales. Okay. Then we have inventory turnover days. Inventory turnover or inventory holding days. So how you will know that your whatever you buy from whatever you are investing into inventory is able to generate enough sales, or which one is more efficient? Inventory turnover ratio. So inventory turnover ratio is calculated by cost of sale divided by average inventory. Okay. And number of how many days worth of inventory you are holding is calculated by this 365 divided by the average turnover, or divide by average cost of 365 divided by turnover rate, which is turnover or average inventory divided by number of sales. So you want to calculate this? You have the balance sheet. You don't have the balance sheet. Okay. You have the balance sheet. Also, you don't also have it. Okay, let me open it up for you. I want you to calculate. Okay, this is so you need to make a note in your I will open the two for Lenovo. Okay. So how you calculate average inventory? What do you need to know? Cost of sale, right? So cost of sale for Lenovo is 43,667. You can make a note 43,667,299. Or I can open the issue now. 436. So okay, minus this, right? So this is your cost of sale. And what is the inventory? Inventory is in your balance sheet. The inventory is here 34,3460. So how will you calculate now? Oops, sorry. Okay, this is for 1 year and this one another year. So the inventory turnover ratio was, what was the formula? Total cost of sale divided by inventory, right? So which is 12, and for previous year is 10. So what does it tell you? The company holds $3 million worth of inventories and it can generate $43 million cost of sale. So it means that company is able to turn around, it's selling its inventory at least 12 times in a month. So what does it mean? Same phone you are selling 12 times in 1 month. So you are able to sell only one phone in a month. Correct? If you say like that, right? You are able to sell only once in a month. If you have one phone, you sell it, you make it one more, right? You keep one phone in your inventory. So you are selling it 12 times. Correct?
How can you say in a month? In the formula there's no time frame.
Yeah, but this is for 1 year. The sale is for 1 year. This is for 1 year number, right? So means in 1 year, how many times they turn around inventories, which is 12 times. So in 1 year we have 12 months, correct? So 12 divided by 12. So means we are able to sell only once in a month, right? And last year it was in 2018 it was 10. So does the company able to sell more? Yes, right? So it means the company has improved their operating efficiency to make better sales, right? And how many days worth of inventory they keep? So how will you know that? 365. The formula is 365 equals 365 divided by the turnover. So it means they are keeping around 28 days of inventory of sale into their stores. So they are, if they don't have any inventory for 28 days, they still can continue to sell. Is it high or low? High. So means that, if they hold one phone on their shelf, it's not sell for 28 days, which is considered high, correct? So, but you need to see what are the competitors, right? So how we see the competitors? Let me open up the ratio for you, the one that I have done for others. Here. Okay, so inventory turnover for all the three companies are here. So turnover for Xiaomi is 13, turnover for Samsung is 5, and turnover for Xiaomi is also 5. So what inventory holding days are? 29, 80 and 70. Now is it bad compared to the other competitors? Is good, right?
Yes.
Xiaomi is holding only 35 days. Samsung need to hold for 80 days, one phone to sell. Xiaomi is the same, 70 days. So which one is better now? Lenovo, correct? Yes. And then the next one is account receivable. Oops. Account receivable means what is my credit sale divided by my average number of inventory. So what does it tell you? It tells you how many times you are able to sell and collect back from the same customer, right? How many times is it? So if you compare the ratio, the formula is the same. So if you compare the three companies that we are discussing, the average turnover here is 8. So they are able to sell 8 times to the same customer. Samsung is able to sell for 7 times and Xiaomi is selling 31 times. So which company is more efficient?
Samsung.
Why Samsung? Xiaomi.
Oh, sorry. Xiaomi.
Xiaomi is 31 days. So they are able to sell 31 times to the same customer, right? And Lenovo is only selling 8 and Samsung is 7. So and how many days of sale they hold the credit? So the Xiaomi's customer are holding only 12 days of sale. So they are able to collect within 12 days from an average customer. So either they are not selling cash, either they are not selling on credit, maybe they are selling cash, or Samsung is able to collect only after 51 days and Xiaomi is able to collect after 48 days. So what does it tell you about? Is it good or bad? Which one is better?
Xiaomi.
Xiaomi is better, right? Because it's able to collect faster. But you cannot be 100% sure because it may be the business model is different. Maybe Xiaomi is selling their phones in wholesale, collect cash in advance or collect the cash from the dealers, while Samsung is maybe not selling the phones onto the dealers. Maybe they are just putting it on their shelf or not collecting them until they are also able to sell. So which means their average collection period is very high, right? They are selling to the wholesalers or they are selling directly from their stores because customer is normally paying immediately, right? Or they are paying mostly on the installments. Which company offers installment? Lenovo. Does they offer installments? They also offer installments. They also offer credit card offers. So you need to understand before you come to the conclusion which company is better or not better. What are their business model? How they are collecting the money from the customers? They may be selling in cash. With Apple, we didn't put Apple here, but if I put Apple, it will be completely different. Apple phones, you need to pay advance, right? So you have a very short collection period there because you are not. The Apple doesn't need to sell to the wholesaler and keep for 1 month because their product is already in very high demand, right? They don't need that service. So the business model is different.
So if we assume assume Samsung and Lenovo has the same business model that they offer credit, they offer installment.
Yes.
In that case, Lenovo is better because they only have 48 days.
Yes. Yeah, if we follow that, okay, the Samsung and Lenovo follow the similar business models, then in that case Lenovo is better because they offer, but the difference is not really that significant actually.
Yeah.
If you see 48 and 51 days is not really big difference. But if you compare to Xiaomi, and if we assume Xiaomi is also having the same model, then Xiaomi is doing a much better job. Correct? And the other not so important is turnover. So is it important to have a turnover ratio for payables? Means your suppliers, you need to pay them on time or not?
Yes.
Why? Otherwise they will not supply you in the future, right? Or they will increase the price of the next delivery because they know that you are not going to pay them on time. So they will build in the interest portion. And normally you build up like 2% per annum, 2% per month, not 2% per annum. So you may have to pay a much higher price if you pay cash or you pay 2 months credit. Or even worse, you may not even get the delivery. Right? So if let's say now who is paying in Samsung and Xiaomi and others, who is paying their suppliers late? See, what is the payable turnover? Only 2-3. And this is their average number of outstanding days. So Lenovo is holding 150 days. How many months are 150 days?
5.
So they are not paying their supplier for 5 months. And what about the Samsung? Same story.
Same.
Xiaomi,
4 months.
bit better, but similar months, right? 4 months, 4.5 months. So it seems like the whole entire telecom industry, the industry norm is 4 months. So if I am the one new business and I want to supply to Xiaomi, and I want to know what are their actual payable periods. So what I will see, 4 months. So when I quote my prices to the company like Samsung or Apple or these companies, what I will do is I will build up my interest period because I need money to invest into the business, right? So I will build up my prices to put a higher price when I supply to these companies because I know they are by industry normal, they are not really paying us faster. Correct?
I'm sorry, I don't really get about the turnover thing. What is the turnover outstanding or holding?
Okay, turnover means how many times they turn the same thing over and over, and number of days outstanding means how many days they hold in their own hands.
So number 3 means they only pay 3 times in 1 year because they hold for 4 months.
Yes, correct. They are just only paying 3 times in a year. But both of them are practically the same thing. Either you use the turnover ratio or you use the number of days outstanding. It's the same thing. Okay. Then you have cash. So what is the cash turnover ratio? Cash efficiency. Amount of your expense, daily expense, divide by your cash holding. So it will tell you how many days of cash you hold in your assets, in your hands. So here is the cash. So now what you are doing here is, so who is holding the higher cash? So Samsung, is it a good practice? Xiaomi is holding only 19 days worth of their total expense in their hands. Sorry, 61 days. Lenovo is only 19 days. Samsung is holding 189 days, means 6 months of their overall expense, whole year expense. 6 months of their expense in their cash. But cash just does generate any income for us? No. So do we need to keep 6 months? But it depends now. But if you look at the industry average here, it doesn't seem to be necessary to keep 6 months. You can definitely survive by a lower amount of cash, but it depends on the risk. Maybe they are based in geography where they need to have a higher cash, right? So it depends on the industry, but it seems if you look at the industry average here, all the companies are from the similar industry, right? So means you don't need to really have a very high cash. you can put money into the investment, other investment where you at least getting something else. Cash is not definitely a good idea. So if they don't put the money into cash, what they should do with this cash then? Because they are earning the cash, right? That's why they are holding it. But it means they are not investing more into the business. So what they should do?
Make better use of.
But they already have worth of tons of assets, right? You see, they have nearly $300 billion worth of assets. So what they should do then? If they want to improve the return on equity, so their return on equity is not really great, right? So what they should do? Return the money to owners, correct? At least owners can make good use of their own capital, right? So if they return the money to the owners, they have $87 billion worth of assets, right? So what will be the value of their equity then? What will the equity will be reduced to? 225 minus 87, because 80 they return to the share equity, right? So their equity will return to only 137, correct? So what will happen to, so it reduced to half, correct? So what will happen to the return on equity then? It will improve. It will become double, right? Instead of 15%, it will go to 30%. So if your focus, which is mostly the company's focus, is on to increase the return on equity, so what they should do? They should not hold the assets which are not useful for the business. Convert them into cash and return to the shareholders. That's why most of the company nowadays, when you will hear out, the companies are buying back their shares. Companies are paying very huge dividends. Why they do that? Because they want to reduce the non-producing assets in their business. If the company has a lot of cash, they don't need the cash and they don't have any future plans. So instead of keeping the cash in their safe or in their bank, they rather buy back the shares from the investors, because the bigger investors, they want to keep the control of the company, right? So